Hey friends, Jessica here from Creators Couture, and in this fast and fun tutorial, I am going to show you how I created these awesome feathery flowers, and I'm using only 3 of my multicolor Photoshop brushes, so let's get started. Starting strong here with Feather Couture Fantasies brush number 1 in a color palette that I used from my tie-dye brush collection. And I just really love all the color blending brush strokes and the effects that you can get here. And it's got a nice fade on this brush. So made some little petal-like strokes. And then in between, I'm using Feather Couture Fantasies brush number 53 to make some nice little soft brush strokes with a different color palette. And so we've got those in, and now we're going to make a new layer. And I believe that I use Glitch Core brush number 85. And just to make these little multicolored strokes for the little flower, abstract flower statement. And I liked that, but I realized I need a little bit of contrast. So what I did was I used just a soft brush with a linear burn to make a little darkness behind that. And then I take my selection tool and just create a really rough leaf shape. And I go back to that Feather Couture Fantasies brush number 1. And I'm just picking a green color palette and making some nice leaf shapes. And so this part of the flower has a strong outline, but what I like about it is that I'm using the same brush stroke, so it has that relevance and, you know, really it's a little bit cohesive with the rest of the flower. And rather than redraw that leaf again, I'm just going to duplicate that layer, free transform it, and move it around. And then I'm going to have some nice little petals here for my flower. And that's as easy as it is using a few brushes. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to make a different version of this flower. So just going to move that around until it's nice. And there I have my lovely flower, and we can see all the gorgeous detail in that. So definitely check that out. Okay, so on this one, I'm doing a different version of the flower using the same brush strokes, using the same brushes, but I thought I would do more of a side angle. So right now I am putting some petals with the first brush, and then I'm taking the Glitch Core brush number 85 and making that little center. But in this time, rather than a top view, it's going to be a side view. And so I believe that I liked that okay, or no, it looks like I'm redrawing those brush strokes for the brush number 85 with the Glitch Core. And then I'm taking that darkening brush with the linear burn applied and adding that little bit of darkness and contrast so that we can see that. And then I just make one more layer, making those using Feather Couture Fantasies brush number 1 to make that front part of the flower. And so I like how it turned out. And then making the same process with my leaves, drawing a rough leaf shape with a selection tool, grabbing a green color palette, Feather Couture Fantasies brush number 1, and just filling that in. But obviously I'm changing the placement of it, so we're having that front view of that flower, and so we'll have one in the front of it and then one, and then I'm just going to duplicate that same leaf, and then I'll put that leaf in the back. And so we got that different angle of that flower. So I think it's really fun. This is a really easy way to make a nice leaf motif or a nice flower motif, and Photoshop brushes are helping us do that really easily. And we've got those beautiful multicolor brush strokes. So that's a lot of fun. And I just move that around, move that shape around a little bit until I'm happy with the placement of it, and we really kind of feel that depth with that flower. And so then you can turn that into a pattern or put it on a greeting card or something like that. And then I'm just touching it up with a little bit of that linear burn brush stroke. So we zoom in and we can see all those beautiful multicolor brush strokes. So lots of fun there. Okay, well that was it. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial and it can give you some ideas for your own work. I went through this a little bit fast, so if you have any questions, just let me know down below in the comments. And also let me know what you think about this new tutorial format. The idea is just to kind of give you guys some ideas quickly, and that way I can put out more content and give you guys more ideas. So I'll have linked down below all of the brushes that I used. For my members, I have the source files, I have the loaded brushes you can download, and also you can use these to create items for sale. So I will see you on the next tutorial.